Okay, I swear to God, I am not over-exaggerating, because holy fuck is this game fucking terrible. I have never been more frustrated at a horror game in my life. Frustrated, confused, and quite frankly, I'm depressed now. I might just kill but not in the way that you think. Yes, this game has themes of suicide and self-harm, but everything about suicide and self-harm in the game feels really ham-fisted with no depth. Don't let anyone tell you that this game is PT good. That is a fucking lie. So my first complaint would definitely have to be the dialogue. And oh boy, do I have something to say. I'm not a huge stickler on this kind of thing when it comes to talkative protagonist, but holy shit, can she shut the fuck up. The only time it feels like Silent Hill is towards the last quarter of the game, which by the way is only 2 hours. Yes, the game's free to play, but thank God for that, because they could not charge any amount of money for this. Not to mention, it also runs like shit on the PS5, which should not be happening. I had multiple freezes, and it was going definitely below 60, because you can tell. Kojima leaving Konami was the worst thing to happen to them. They need him. And I'm not even a Kojima dick rider. At least not exactly, because I wasn't even a big fan of Death Stranding. It just wasn't for me personally, but he's a very weird man, and I like that about him. But Death Stranding personally didn't do it for me. For me, when it comes to Kojima, I much prefer in a horror genre, which thankfully he is working on a new horror game called OD. But god man, do I wish PT was still around. It did not deserve to die for this. My second complaint would be the sound design. The game has almost little to no atmosphere. There is very little going on with ambience. The little amount of ambience that you do get in the sound design is drowned out by the stupid fucking techno music playing in my goddamn horror game. Also, when the chases start from the monster, you're fully aware of when they're gonna happen, because the screen will start to glitch, and it'll only happen when you go to a certain door. So you know every time it's gonna happen, and they only last like 5 seconds until the end of the game, where it lasts like fucking felt like 15 fucking minutes, because I was running in a circle where I couldn't see a goddamn thing, and everything looked the same. Everything looked the fucking same. The game does not direct you where to go at the end. I was finding my way exactly where to go up until the ending. The crazy thing is, the ending is when it felt more like a Silent Hill game. So I think some people in there know what Silent Hill is and what it should be, but they have people in there that want to push it to quote unquote evolve the series, but really they mean either convoluted or oversaturated. If this game does sell well, you know damn well Konami will start pouring into merchandising with Silent Hill, more gambling machines, which they've been known to do. They've made more gambling machines recently than fucking actual Silent Hill games. Not to mention that the Silent Hill 2 remake doesn't look that good. It looks good, but it looks like it could use a bit more time in the oven, because I was still looking forward to when I saw the trailer, but when I started seeing people talk about certain things about the trailer, I rewatched and I started noticing what they were talking about. The hits in the trailer have what seems like no impact. It's also third person now, which, I mean, I'm not that big of a problem on that. I actually kind of like that, but I do understand the people coming from where that's not what Silent Hill is. It's always been, you know, this weird overhead camera instead of a third-person camera, because I think Capcom did it really well with Resident Evil, but again, that doesn't mean that Konami has to do it. But like I said, you know, they're trying to modernize it. They're trying to evolve the Silent Hill franchise, which it's a real shame what's happening to this franchise, and it's been going on for a long time. It's just been in the dirt and no one's cared about it ever since PT. And now that these games are coming out, and now that the Silent Hill game, the short message, has come out, I have even less hope. Third issue I have with this game is not necessarily the topic, but how it's handled, because it really feels like the message in this game is, instead of being, yeah, suicide is really depressing, this is the grittiness and realness of it, because nothing about this felt authentic. Nothing about this made me really think, yeah, this person is seriously going through something. And that was the warning they gave us. And as soon as you start the game, they warn you about depictions of suicide and self-harm, and that they're not trying to glorify it. Well, good job. You didn't glorify it. Actually, you diminished it, in my opinion. Also, a lot of the bullying related stuff is also just really heavy-handed. Like, they'll have the notes hanging up with names that the character was called in the past from school or her mother, and I'm pretty sure one of them said poop, and then there was also just really weird names that were chosen to be bullying words, such as get out of here or dumb. Like, come on, man, we could do a little better than dumb, right? So it really felt like they wanted to run with this suicide topic for shock, but there is no shock. There's nothing happening in this game. Half the time you're walking around searching in the room just to stare at a pizza box just to get a dialogue pop up, and then the dialogue you do hear makes you want to stab your ears out. I also didn't finish the game. I stopped right at the end because of how fucking mazy the last area was and how dark everything was and how annoying it was when you died to have to go back through everything just to collect every single memory, image, whatever, to unlock these chains off this door while the thing is chasing you at random speeds. I watched this thing chase me slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast. They just choose when they go fast, it seems like. But I felt next to no fear or anxiety when I was getting chased by this monster. And that is in part because of the atmosphere and also the chases being very obvious. I also want to get in the topic of jump scares because this game does not really have them. That's a bad thing per se, but like I said, because there's not a whole lot going on in the game already, it makes it really fucking boring. So I would like to get jump scared every once in a while to keep me on edge. But no, the game's like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to scare you. This isn't a horror game. This is just a walk around and listen to shitty dialogue game. But suicide and self-harm is a very serious topic, and it just seems like they didn't know too much, which is kind of hard to believe because everyone has had to deal with something like that at some point, especially these adults that are working on these video games. You know, you feel like they would know something about depression. Yeah, it just seems like they very much just didn't know what exactly story they were trying to tell here. Like, they knew what they were writing, but they didn't really understand. But they say that this is a Silent Hill game for the new generation that's supposed to bring in new Silent Hill games, and this is the future. If this is the future, I'm afraid Silent Hill is dead. And if the Silent Hill 2 remake comes out and it's ass, yeah. Like, I promise you guys, I went into this with an open mind. I recorded the whole thing. I was talking about how I would like this to be good. I don't expect this to be better than PT, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. But I was left disappointed immensely with my expectations being as low as they were. There's also a lot of moments in the game where the monster's chasing you, and they very clearly want you to try to bait the monster to try to chase you around somewhere so you can kind of break their ankles and go around them, which is just super unintuitive and just really fucking boring, and it's very easy. Like, I expected the monster to turn around and at least sometimes to, like, freak me out, like, oh, keep me on edge. I mean, I kind of expected the monster, turn around or something and at least try to not let me bait it. But it had, like, the dumbest AI, I guess. But yeah, basically that's it. I just wanted to rant a little bit because this is super disappointing, to say the least. I hope things come around. I hope they're able to prove us wrong. Because like I said, the ending was feeling more like Silent Hill. It was still gameplay-wise not very fun. But the environments were feeling more like Silent Hill. But yeah, hopefully Kojima just decides to pull a big dick move and just buys Konami or something at this point, because he's probably making more money than them anyways at this point, and he just takes over the Silent Hill franchise, because at this point, this is what we desperately need. We really need Konami to no longer have the rights to Silent Hill, because they are not doing it any justice, and it's really sad. But yeah, anyways, that's all I have to say. This game sucks. Like the video, like it. Thank you for stopping by. I'm out. Also, I just want to point out, I had to start recording again because I've been looking at Twitter. I didn't even finish the game, so I didn't even see this. This message is shown to you in the very beginning of the game and the very ending. If they were trying to drive home this suicide topic with a good message they failed miserably. Because what is this? Why would you end it on this?